are back. Keene State leads by 14 with just under 8 minutes remaining in the first half. And we are joined by Alphonse Michalski, part of the NCAA Elite A team in 2003-2004. Alphonse, how are we doing today?
Doing well, doing well. Anytime I can get back to Keene and watch the boys play, it's a great day.
Yes, and you were part of, like we said, an Elite 8 team run. First of all, talk about the culture around that team and what it was like back then.
Back then, well, we had a very tight-knit group, great chemistry. We all came up together. When we came in as freshmen and sophomores, and we made it to the finals every year, came up short, and then finally our senior year we pushed through and got to the NCAA tournament. So, good hands.
Yeah, absolutely. When you go back and you think about that team and you compare it to a team like you have here, what similarities between that team and this team do you see, especially on the court?
You know what I was, the biggest thing I was talking to some of my old teammates, and I was saying how balanced we are, right? With my team, we had 4 guys in double digits that average double digits. Same thing here, right? Yeah, you have your 2 studs that lead the way. But any given night, you got Spencer, Aronson that can go off. Nate Seale had a great game against Middlebury. They got so many guys that can get you on every night that can get 30. That's the biggest similarity between our teams.
And we've talked about it too. There's a narrative around this team that there's probably 8 to 10 guys that are going to A, give it your all, and B, make plays for this Keene State team. And like you said,
yep,
when they're tight-knit like that and they know what each other does, it just leads to good things on the court.
Yeah, we were very similar. We went 8 deep as well. They play heavy minutes, top 8. That's how we were too, But at any given moment, one of these guys, Max Bonnie Lyles, Ryan Donahue could come in and give you some good minutes. You know what I mean? So everybody has their role to play, and it looks like so far this year everyone's doing it, successfully.
Do you have any favorite memories, especially, you said you made the finals every year. You finally broke through in your senior year. Disregarding that, because that's obviously a core memory for you, do you have any other memories that you think about sometimes with that old team?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, the thing you miss, right, is the camaraderie, the practices, working towards a goal. I mean, the biggest thing is probably when we hosted Babson here in the NCAA tournament. We had a bye, and then we hosted the second round. And we were coming in for shootout, and the line for tickets was down Appian Way out the front gates. I mean, we were walking in, and it was just the community backed us up like they're doing with this team. It's a great showing today. But that's probably the biggest memory, is that seeing that community come out and really back us up.
We're going to get a break in the action right now as there might have been some blood on the floor after that most recent play. But yeah, Alphonse, you said the last time you were on campus was earlier this year to you caught a game for this men's team. Which game was that?
I'm trying to think. It was a blowout, so I left at halftime, to be honest with you.
You sound like some of the students here.
I was like, I got to see something better than this, you know what I mean? I think it was Rhode Island College. That's who it was. And we had put it on them, I believe, earlier in the year here. So, yeah, listen, that Middlebury game I was watching online, that was a tough one, but that's not a bad loss. That kind of resets the group for that stretch run, brings them back down a little bit, we weren't playing our best ball heading into that game, we were getting some wins, getting lucky down the stretch against, West Con, winning an OT, going to UMass Boston. But, I think that Middlebury loss is going to end up being beneficial for this squad.
Yeah, I was actually just thinking that. Looking back at some of the other games that we've played this year, do you think that this kind of goes back to my other question that I asked you about, do you see any similarities? Wow. Was there something that you had to figure out the more you went through school? Did you learn how to win as a team, or did you learn how to win basketball?
Absolutely. No, listen, the biggest thing was just maturity. We got there early, when we were all sophomores, and then junior year, I thought we were prized to break through and win it. But that senior team, everything All right, Coach Kane, I love the passion, baby. Give it to him. But yeah, you know, it was the right time. It was the right group of kids to break through and get us to the tournament, you know. And this team right here is poised to make a run deep in the tournament, it looks like. You know, they got everything you want. And, yeah, I love the way he plays, you know. I love the way CL gets after it defensively. He's a stud.
I have a question real quick. If you could compare the way that you played basketball, the way that you played when you were here at Keene State, which player on this squad would you say you were closest with?
So I played point guard. You know, I was a 6'3" point guard, which, you know, big. I was very physical. You know, I would go down in the low blocks. I'm not sure if there's a player that I guess the new guy from Nichols, he's a big guard, locks up defensively, can get to the bucket, you know what I mean? And I'd say his game probably similar to mine out of all from what I see, you know? Attaboy. Oh, wow. But yeah, you know, I mean, Carruthers is not bad too, you know? I like the way he plays from a guard standpoint, but that'd be it. I'd say probably number 0, Tameen, right? That's his name, Tameen Dupree.
And you were talking about earlier how tight-knit teams like yours make good runs. They're always good teams, and we saw Brito go out of the game. He I believe he was bleeding right after. The entire bench is standing, the entire gym's on their feet. They're making noise, and it seems like the energy has picked up without one of the best players on the floor.
You're only as good as your weakest link, right? And the fact that the guys that maybe don't get as many minutes are standing and cheering let you know how involved they are in this program, let you know that they care about winning and not about statistics, and that's what you want to see. You know what I mean? That's exactly how my team was. Nobody cared about stats. Everything was about getting the W, and that's a beautiful thing to see.
Did you have – so obviously you can look at the 2 captains that we have today, Paronto and Hunter. Did you have guys like that on your team that you know that you could rely on? Were you one of those guys that you know that your team could be there to rely on?
Yeah, so
out there and get buckets?
Yeah, so Chris Timpson led us in scoring. I was second in scoring. And then we had Matt Wheeler and Sean Sullivan were the top 4 that were, you know, we all averaged double digits. But, you know, we didn't rely heavily on any one of us. We just played together, ran our offense, and whoever was hot that night was hot that night. Obviously, with this team, Hunter and Brito are your workhorses, right? They're who is going to get you to where you want to go, and you guys lean on them. Have we seen from previous games when they've gotten in foul trouble, it starts looking a little shaky, you know, but we're working our way through that. But, you know, yeah, I mean, that'd be the biggest similarities. We were just a little bit more, like, spread out. We didn't rely so much on the top 2 guys, even though, you know, for the majority of the time, me and Timpson were our leading scorers.
And you mentioned earlier you love the coach, you love the passion from Coach Ryan Kane.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Obviously, you're not as close with Coach Ryan Kane.
No, I've known Ryan Kane for years. He, you know, when he got the job, I was a big proponent of pushing him and backing him. But yeah, no, we talk regularly, you know, through text and on the phone. But yeah, no, he keeps in touch with the alumni. He keeps in touch with me often. But yeah, so he, you know, I love what he's done, continuing on the winning tradition of our program. That, you know, that Rob Colbert had, you know, he kind of set the bar, and Ryan's taking it to the next step, and, you know, it's a beautiful thing to see.
So you say that you've kept in contact with Coach Kane for quite a while.
Oh, yeah.
So going into the season, people understood that this team was going to be good, but I don't think anybody knew that this team was going to be this good. Did you see something special in this team before the season started, or is this a little bit unexpected for you? Not
unexpected for me. I knew that they'd be at the top of the LEC. Obviously, on a national scale, that's the thing that's, all right, you know, we've played some teams that have been ranked, and we've performed beautifully. You know what I mean? So, but it's not unexpected because we've built Keene State up into one of the top-tier teams in the Northeast, and on any given year, if it's the right year, we can make a run. You look at our banners, Elite 8, Sweet 16. So we set a standard of what we expect, and these guys are just living up to the standard.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and these standards you're talking about, you mentioned before that they were something that Rob Colbert put into this program.
Yep.
Knowing both coaches, can you just compare and contrast the 2 of them from a Ron Colbert versus a Ryan Kane standpoint?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, the similarities, they both love their players, would do anything for their players. You know, Coach Colbert could be a little more fired up on the sidelines than Coach Kane, if you could believe that.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. But no, you know, I mean, listen, they both have made a mark on this program. Coach Colbert's the winningest coach in history. Kane's on his way to passing him. And, you know, you can't help but root for Coach Kane. You know, he's a likable guy, and he knows the game of basketball.
Well, Alphonse, thank you for joining us. It was very nice talking to you.
Absolutely. Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to
Hey,
meet you,
my
Jim.
pleasure. I'll see you down the road. Go Owls.
Go Owls.